Hi. So I'm doing the superheroes book tag, and it was created by JHT Books, and the link is to the original videos down there in the description. And this was meant to be in honor of the new Age of Ultron movie, which I which came out 2 weeks ago, and I saw it. So it's a little bit late for that, but yeah, I've been meaning to do this, but then I decided to do some other stuff. Um, yeah, so I'm doing that today, and this is it's meant to be in honor of the new Age of Ultron movie, which I saw and I loved it because I'm a superhero fan. I'm a Marvel fan. You know, I'm into the Avengers. As you can see, I'm wearing a Captain America T-shirt, um, which I decided to wear for today. So what you do is you take a superhero and then there's a statement associated with it. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get started right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna include pictures on the sides of the superheroes as I say them, and just to get a little bit creative. So the first superhero is Thor, and that's a book you didn't think got as much credit as it deserved. And yeah, I had to say this is where I leave you because I loved this so much, and I don't think the movie got a lot of good word about it. I loved it. I have it on Blu-ray and DVD combo pack, and but yeah, I don't think a lot of people honored it that much. I think it got a lot of bad word, but I loved it. I loved this, and I don't think this was a big top seller either. This is meant to be about the book, not the movie. But yeah, I don't think because this book wasn't widely promoted. You know, I don't think a lot of people have read it. But regardless of that, I loved it, and I love the movie. And I would give it, if it were up to me, I would give it a lot of credit. Okay, the second superhero is Captain America, which I love. As you can see, I'm wearing the shirt. That's your favorite historical fiction novel. And I can't say that this is my favorite. Oh, well, it's West of Sunset by Stuart Onan. And I can't say this is my favorite because this is my only historical fiction novel. And I'm in the first chapter. I started this earlier this week. I'm still in the first chapter too. So I just started this. I know a lot of people don't like historical fiction, but I'm gonna see what I think about it because I never really read it before. So I have this. It's about F. Scott Fitzgerald and of the last few years of his life from when he went to start screenwriting in Hollywood. So that's why it's called West of Sunset. It takes place in Hollywood. So I'm gonna see what this is like, and maybe I like historical fiction. So I sort of changed this up a little bit because this is my only historical fiction novel, so I don't really have a favorite. But I knew I had to say something. So I'm gonna move on. The next one is The Hulk, and that's a book that made you angry. And I'm saying Forever Friday because I mean you know I say this book as like really sad and depressing, and it is. But when I was reading the ending, and I really don't want to say anything that would come off as a spoiler. But when I was reading the ending, I was so mad at the author. I wanted to be mad at Timothy Lewis. And if you're watching, I don't. He is, but if you're watching this, I apologize. But I just wanted to be mad at him for. Okay, here's a spoiler alert because some of the characters died. Two of the characters died after they lived very very long lives, and I wanted to be so mad at him for I was so bummed out that I wanted to be mad. I actually was. I got a little bit angry, but also really really upset. So. Um, yes. So that I just yeah, I was really mad after reading the book, but I was so sad too. So I was both ways. I'm gonna move on. So the next superhero is Iron Man, and that's a book that takes place in the future. And I'm gonna say 1004 by Ben Lerner, um, because it's uh, said to be in the future, but it's not really specific where exactly. Excuse me, God. And I know it doesn't take place in 2015 or 2014 is when I read the book. So yeah, it's not really specific of when it takes place, but it does have a futuristic element to it. You know, it does have that kind of feel. Um, so it's yeah, it's a little confusing, I know, but I'm sure this takes place in the future based on what the character describes and such, but it's just not that easy to determine. Plus, this is also the only book I have that takes place in the future too, so I don't. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna move on. So the next superhero is Loki, and that's really more of a villain. But that's a book you were tricked into thinking was good, but it wasn't. And I'm gonna say Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore. And I wouldn't want to say I wasn't tricked into thinking this was good. I just thought it would be when I was browsing it. Um, so I assumed it would be good based on the reviews and everything too. Right, when I read what the reviews on the back of the book, but then I just wasn't into it. When I was reading it, I don't think I liked it because the character's he's a graphic designer, so he was using a lot of terminology that I wouldn't know, and doing a lot of stuff I wouldn't know how to do. And but I wasn't tricked. I just sort of convinced myself I thought it was going to be good, and I'm sure it was good. I won't doubt that. I just wasn't into it. So yeah, yes, yeah. I wasn't tricked. I guess you could say I tricked myself. So okay, the next superhero is Batman, and as you can see, I went with the Val Kilmer Batman because that's the only Batman I saw. So and that's a book who's a character whose parents are still alive. And I went with I'm Having So Much Fun Here Without You by Courtney Mon, who's the character of Richard. His parents are alive in this. They're around and they're married, and he actually interacts with them and films them, and he stays at their house too. So there are scenes of his parents in here, and um, so yeah, that was that, and really not much else I can say about that because this was meant to be about the character's parents. So I'm gonna move on. So the next superhero is really a set of four of them, and it's the Fantastic Four. And I went with the earlier one. I know they're doing another one, but I saw the Silver Surfer movie from 2007, so I decided to go with that one. And that's name a book series that has at least four books in it. And I said Narnia, and this is the only book that I have. This is the second one, and it's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And I know the first one is The Magician's Nephew. And I think there's seven books, but I only have this one. And yeah, I do have some series, but either I have a series of three books or I have parts of series. I think of the first of maybe a series of three and a series of two. Um, but this is the only one I have where it's part of a series of more than four. And I don't have Harry Potter or anything like that. So yeah, I just went with this one, and I haven't read the other ones. I just wanted to read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So yeah, so I'll say this one. So the next one is the Winter Soldier, who is also not so much of a hero, more of a villain. But I think we have to wait till Captain America: Civil War, which I'm looking forward to. And that's a book you can't remember anything about. And I said The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants because I read this when I was in high school. So if I don't remember much of the book, but I know I saw the movie first, and I like the movie. I saw that first, and then I read the book, and I noticed there were a lot of stuff that was different about the movie and the book. That the movie changed a lot of stuff. So I remember that, and but I don't remember what was significant in here that wasn't really part of the movie. But I still hung on to this too. So just in case if I ever want to get to it again or something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna move on. So the next one is the Joker, and also I went with Jack Nicholson's Joker. I know Heath Ledger won the Oscar for being the Joker, and everyone loves him. But I figured Jack Nicholson might have been the original one, um, and maybe not original because there was the TV show. Anyway, that's a book that had you laughing out loud. And I'm gonna say an abundance of Catherines, just because I went. Yeah, I guess I laughed out loud. I thought it was really funny. I thought it was really witty too. But there are some serious sentimental moments about this book. But otherwise, it's really funny, and I like how John Green had he made it a contrast from The Fault in Our Stars because it says it promotes The Fault in Our Stars here, and there's the first few chapters of it in the back. Um, so yeah, I thought it was a very funny book, and yeah, I usually use this book when I'm talking about really funny ones. So yeah. So that was the superheroes book tag. I put all the questions down there in the description, as well as the link to the original video, which was by JHT Books. So, yeah, I'm a superhero fan. I like Marvel. I'm a Marvel fan. Um, I saw the first two Avengers movies, Captain America movies, and I can't wait for the other ones to come out too, which will come out in like a long time into the future. But but still, so yeah, I hope you subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.